Okay, so last week I shared this story with you, and I think and we were talking about it and how this is gonna be earth-shattering video by the sounds of it. And I shared that with you guys how this horny cleric, it's not Gandalf the Grey, it's Mufti Azizur Rahman. He, as you guys, if you remember what he did, he was a mufti, a religious cleric, a teacher at a madrasa in KPK province up in the north. And there was a student who failed in his exams, and he said, "Oh, Mufti, you got to help me out. I can't fail these exams. I need to pass." And um, so Mufti was already in his porno mode. He was like, "Right, no worries, I can help you out, but you gotta give me something in return." And so I'm taking a bit of a joke, making a bit of a joke of that. Obviously, not at the expense of the victim, but um, it's just sad because it has been so normalized that people just didn't care. It's not like people didn't know about it, and now Pakistanis are just shocked at it. Oh, like we didn't know these things happen. Everyone knew that this happened. The authorities knew, politicians knew. BBC made a documentary on this. Everyone knew about this. This is worse than what's been happening to little kids at the hands of priests in the churches around the world. This is worse than that. I have often quoted this Pakistani religious scholar, engineer Muhammad Ali Mirza, who has said numerous times, and I think he's one of the few people who actually spoke out again in light of this event, that there might not be a single. No, let me quote it because he said it in Urdu, so I'm trying to translate that and trying to find the best words for it. He said there would hardly be a madrasa where these kind of activities don't take place. So he didn't say that, there might be a few madrasas where these kind of things happen. No, he said there would hardly be a madrasa where these kind of things don't happen. He said it's been happening for so long, and the whole society, the whole country has just turned a blind eye to it. So anyway, so now this has become kind of like a madrasa Me Too movement, and this video went viral nearly a week ago or a week and a bit ago, and now every day there's a new video coming out on the internet, and people are talking about it. So I thought about it, like when you see people who are corrupt. Let's just say, people who are stealing $10 out of their drawer, out of the till of their employer. They somehow try to rationalize it. If someone tries to defraud a bank or insurance company, they somehow rationalize it. They go like, "Oh, it's okay. It's a victimless crime. Maybe it's okay. I got to do this to get ahead." So people rationalize their crimes, and I thought about it, since if it's happening in every madrasa, if almost every cleric is doing this, then how are they rationalizing it? Because Islam definitely does not promote sleeping with little children. Islam does not promote that, unless obviously, okay, let me rephrase that. If it's a boy, same-sex molestation, Islam does not promote. Opposite sex molestation, Islam promotes. Londis, sex slavery, that's all allowed. There's no age limit. There's no doubt about that. So Islam allows that. But in our modern day Islam, because there's no slavery left anymore, thanks to the Western world, it doesn't happen anymore. So in the 21st century Islam, you could actually make a very good argument that Islam doesn't support that. 21st century, albeit it is 21st century Islam. So how did these clerics justify it? How did they rationalize it? Because if everyone's doing it, somehow they gotta come up with something in their mind that, we can do it. So one such cleric actually literally said it. It's like a pedophile coming out and saying, "Well, we've got our urges too, so you got to allow it." You wouldn't believe it. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to actually translate that or put subtitles on it, but I will translate. I'll translate it for you.
तो आवाम ने उनसे कटना नहीं है, क्यों? इंसान है वो.
So here he's saying that, okay, he's just a human being. He just made a mistake. Big deal. But listen to this one.
हुजूर अकरम सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम के ज़माने में, पाक ज़माने में, क्या ऐसे वाक़यात पाक महफूज अनिल खता लोगों से नहीं हुए.
That is the line that got him in trouble. He said, so this is how he builds the premise. He says, well, he's just this cleric, the one who got caught, this one, he's saying, well, he's a human. He made a mistake. Big deal. And then in the next sentence, he says, in the best time of our prophet, dearly beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, in his best time, some of the best people, meaning the companions of the prophet, they also did these things. That's what he said. He said they also did it. Now, I didn't know about this. I've never heard David Wood or Christian Prince or any one of these people have ever spoken about this. We've heard this second-rate hadith where they say Muhammad actually tongue-kissed Hassan or Hussein. Other than that, which I don't even see that, like I think it's exaggerated. But other than that, I have never heard or seen any reference. But this guy is saying it. He's saying that the companions of the Prophet used to molest little boys. He just said it. So I don't know where he's getting it from. He must be getting it from someplace. So that's the homework for all of you guys to actually find that out, because this guy is saying that thing happened.
एक मशहूर आलिम दीन है और उसकी सारी चीजें हालात वाकयात सुबह शाम मुफ्ती साहब के हमारे ऊपर वाज़े हैं.
Now he's going further into it to build a case for this guy, and he says that, oh, there's this one mufti, obviously he's talking about this one, and he's saying there's this one mufti, we know he's a pious man, we know everything about him, he's a good guy.
और उनको नशे में चाय में नशा दिया गया. वीडियो के अंदर साफ मौजूद है कि वो उसकी हरकतें बेकसद हैं.
Look at this guy's face, look at him. All these boys they're like, yeah, okay, Mufti Saab, that's why you did what you did to us. He's saying here that this guy, you can see, we know he's a good guy. Someone gave him some sort of a drug or something, and that's why he was not in his senses. Now, this was the official explanation given by this guy, and you know what he said? He said, well, look at me, I was not in my senses. How could he be filming and I wouldn't be aware of? Yeah, right, mate, that's because you were horny as fuck, that's why. Anyway, so this guy apparently got arrested straight away for making for saying he got arrested for blaspheming the companions, because he said the companions of the Prophet also used to molest kids. So I mean, even us Islamophobes, even we didn't know that. But thank you very much, Mufti, for letting us know. He must be getting from someplace. But the good thing is that this is now all these stories, all these victims who were shamed and who were never, nobody ever believed them. Now they're coming forward, and now they're filming these incidents, and now they're telling the world that this is what's happening. So I'm equating it to, I'm comparing that to, this is like a Pakistani madrasa Me Too movement. And every day we're getting one or two videos. I mean, I can't show you those videos, but people are sending them to me. And please stop sending them to me, because this could be, this is objectionable material. And as soon as I look at it, what it is, and I just delete it. But yeah, it's this. I'm actually glad that now the government will be forced to do something about it, because they've been ignoring it for far too long, even Pakistan as a society. I forgot to talk about this guy. There's more to it. So one guy came out, obviously, as I just played the video to you, that one guy came out and said, well, so what? He's a human being. We all make mistakes. And even back in the day of Prophet Muhammad, the companions used to molest boys. So it's okay. It's okay. So anyway, so that guy has been arrested, and I think his computer has been confiscated, and his students are being interviewed, and I'm sure that other guy would have done the same thing as well. So not only just that, then there's some people. One thing that good came out of that was this is a chief police officer in that province in Punjab, and he said, we will get him convicted because we want our kids and society protected from these child molesters. And that guy has been arrested. This Gandalf the Grey has been arrested, Mufti Azizur Rahman. But he did say, and this is going to give you a bit of the idea that how corrupt the Pakistani society is. He did say that, well, we might because this guy belongs to an influential Islamist political party, he might get away with it. But so he basically said that, like, if he gets away with it through courts, then it's not my fault. But as far as I'm concerned, as a police officer, I'm going to make sure that he gets his conviction, because we want to save our children. I reckon he's going to jail, but I also don't have any faith in Pakistani justice system, because after a year or so, when people forget about it, then he might be released, or he might actually be killed in the jail. So that is also a very likely possibility. So that, because as I said, now it has triggered a madrasa movement, the Madrasa Me Too movement in Pakistan. And every day we're seeing some videos. There's one guy who actually thought that, okay, maybe we can somehow smuggle Sharia law in Pakistan. He says, oh, this is why we tell you to have Sharia law in Pakistan, because Khalifa Awwal, Abu Bakr, and Ali used to throw down those people off the cliffs who were involved in such kind of sinister and evil practices. As far as I know, the hadith or tradition he's referring to, first of all, when we actually put that tradition in front of these moderate Western Islamic apologists, they usually tell us, no, that's a daif hadith. That narration is not really true or whatever. But here, because this guy lives in Pakistan, he thought, okay, every time when these kind of things happen, they say that, okay, hang them in public, as this will instill fear in the hearts of these perpetrators, and they wouldn't do these crimes. And which is obviously nonsense, because I've always said it, that Saudi Arabia, harsher punishments not necessarily kill the crime, because in Saudi Arabia, per capita, there's more murders than there are in Norway. In Saudi Arabia, for murdering, you get beheading. But in Norway, you get to stay in a 5-star hotel. Not a 5-star hotel, 3-star compounds out of the city. You have full freedom. You got cable TV, couches, heater, and everything. So that's Norway. How come the murder rate in Norway is lower than that than it is in Saudi Arabia? Because it's got to do with a lot of other factors than just the fact that, okay, just dish out these corporal or severe punishment. That doesn't do it. So anyway, but again, people in Pakistan are led to believe that this is what happened by people like him. This guy, Allama Hisham Ilahi Zahi, thought that, okay, we can smuggle in Sharia law in this. And he said, Abu Bakr and Ali used to throw these people off cliffs or highest points. Well, that was for gays and homosexuals, not for child molesters. I don't know of any tradition or any saying where this kind of punishment was actually dished out on child molesters. So I used to think that maybe, and you know why that is? Because as child molestation is not even an issue in Islam, especially if it's a girl. You're allowed to have female sex slaves. It doesn't matter how old they are. So that's why it was never an issue, and that's why there's no ruling against it. But what about now? I'm thinking that the reason why we haven't found any ruling on child molesters, because as this guy, our friend in Pakistan, said, that companions of the Prophet used to do this back in the time of Muhammad. This guy literally said that. He said companions of the Prophet used to do it back in the time of Muhammad. So that's why there is no punishment against it. But anyway, I'm just going by what he said. I haven't seen whatever he's referring to. To help me produce more videos like these, support me on Patreon or PayPal.